This is a WFMY News 2 Sports Special. Friday Football Fever. Here are your hosts, Patrick Wright and Luke Lyddon.
It's finally here. High school football back in the triad. Feels good, doesn't it, Luke?
It sure does.
Oh, man. Well, welcome to Friday Football Fever.
There is no feeling quite like tonight, huh?
Absolutely.
We had several big-time matchups across the area tonight, and we've got plenty of action to cover from week one.
All right, let's start with our Wendy's game of the week. North Davidson hit the road to take on Mount Tabor. And take a look at this. The Spartans ready for some action in week one. They came out fired up through the smoke. I'd say that's intimidating. Mount Tabor here, third play of the season. Kendrick Patterson picked off by Jackson Carroll, and he takes it to the house for 6. North Davidson takes the 7-0 lead. Of course, the fans love it. They're on the road with the lead, trying to keep it up, but this time North Davidson punting. Zyquez McMillan gonna field the punt, and watch this kid work. Gonna juke over on the sideline, takes it up the field. Looks like he's gonna score, doesn't it? No, not this time. Justin Moore gonna save the touchdown, brings him down within the 10. Patterson, though, making up for that turnover earlier. The QB keeper around the edge, fights into the end zone, ties it up at 7. Mount Tabor would hold on to win a close one, 20-16.
Time now to head south on Highway 220 for a huge Randolph County showdown. Asheboro made the short bus ride to meet up with Randleman, and let's get right to the highlights. Randleman's Tanner McGee scrambling, gonna fumble, and after a few seconds, you can't tell where the ball is, but it's Asheboro's Marquise Graham. He's gonna recover, but this was all about the defense, at least early on. Randleman's Dominic Poole brings down Cameron Glover for the loss, but eventually, patience heals all. Randleman's Jaquan Snipes taking the handoff, and he is gone 69 yards to the house for the touchdown, untouched for the 7-0 lead. So we jump ahead, 4th and 6. Asheboro's Corey Durant calls his own number, gets in for the score, and Asheboro currently leads 28-21 in the 4th. There was a big rain delay for this game, and we're still working on getting that final score for you.
Man, what a start to the season. Well, we've only scratched the surface of tonight's fever. Still ahead, Reedsville opened with a showdown against Rockingham County. Glenn hit the road to meet up with Ledford. More scores and highlights are coming up after the break.
Plus, we've got all your scores and highlights right at your fingertips. On Facebook, we are Triad High School Sports, and on Twitter, we are at WFMY FFF. We have all the action from tonight's games online after the show. Listen to those pipes. That is some talent right there. Those great sounds are courtesy of the Reedsville Rams student section, our Friday Football Fever band and fans of the week.
Hey, got to improvise, right? All right, well, Reedsville is the high school football capital of North Carolina. The Rams look to take their first step towards yet another championship with a victory over Rockingham County. And the reigning champs, they're all psyched up for the start of the season. Let's start things off in the first quarter. How about Jalen Easy here, or Easley, excuse me. Makes it look easy, though. Takes the 12-yard run in for the score. Reedsville takes the 14-0 lead. The cheerleaders, of course, they love it. Then Rockingham County, how about this? The trick play. Chris Shoemaker going to hit Alex Puffenberger. Puffenberger hits Kyler Wicker. What a play there. The trick play gets them into the end zone. The students love it. They're down 14-7, though, in the second quarter. Titus Jones going to hit Easley again. This time, he's going to take it all the way to the house. This guy can't be stopped. Easily once again crosses the goal line for his score. Reedsville goes on to win it 34-7.
Puffenberger, I like that name, that's catchy. Mother Nature forced some games in the Triad to get off to some late starts, and that was the case at Northeast Guilford as the Rams and Eastern Guilford kicked off after 9 p.m., but for Northeast, this wasn't the start they wanted. The snap goes over the head of quarterback Tariq Ridges, out of the end zone. That's 2 points on the board. That'll be a safety, but nothing like some strong defense in return. Eastern Guilford's Kristen McMullen eaten up by Rams' Brevin Allen, but wait, there's more. Eastern Guilford with the toss to Adam Akins, but he's brought down by Anthony Hairston. Later, Rams' Tariq Ridges looking for some running room, but finds just about none as he's taken down around the line of scrimmage. And right now, Eastern Guilford, they're up 28-0 in the third quarter. And like we mentioned, this was also delayed by rain earlier this evening.
All right, well, Glenn has one of the top players in the triad in quarterback Stephon Brown. The App State commit looked to lead the Bobcats to a win at Ledford. Now, the Ledford student section was in mid-season form tonight, and so was Donovan Williams. Take a look at this. The very first play from scrimmage, Williams takes it right up the middle, and you're not going to stop this guy. Look at his feet. Too fast for you. He goes 69 yards for the score. Ledford takes the early 7-0 lead. The cheerleaders are all about that. They love it. But then Ledford driving again. Matt Rogers, though, picked off by Pascal Reeves. Awesome name there. He returns it to the 5. Stephon Brown going to capitalize. Scores from 4 yards out. We're tied at 7, and it's Brown again. Why not? One more time. This is a 1-yard score for Brown. Glenn goes on to win this one, 47-24.
We head east on I-40 for a stop in Alamance County. Eastern Alamance made the short trip to meet up with county rival Graham. We pick it up in the first quarter, and Graham's Javon Parmley gonna fight his way into the end zone. 6 hard-earned yards as he gets past the goal line. 2-point conversion was good, so they go up 8-0. After Graham recovered a fumble on the kickoff, William McDaniel on 4th and 17. This is not an easy walk in the park, but he makes it down the sidelines, 40 yards for the touchdown. Another 2-point conversion. They're up 16-0. While Eastern Alamance Hayden Mann finds Taquan Whitmore diving catch of the 30-yard line, so the same drive. Tavon McCauley sweeping right, but he's brought down at the 2-yard line. The next play, though, Tra Bozeman right up the middle, 2 yards into the end zone, 2-pointers good. They would trail 16-8, but Eastern Alamance wins in a big, big way, 57-16 to start off the season 1-0.
Well, that's it. Some pretty good football so far, but we're not done yet. Still ahead on the Fever, Northern Guilford met up with Grimsley. And how can you help us decide our game of the week for next Friday night? We'll have the answer after the break. Well, tonight's rain forced some games in our area to start a little late. Northern Guilford and Grimsley finally got underway inside Jamison Stadium around 9 o'clock. We'll start in the second quarter. The Whirlies have the ball. Cam Wall going to take the handoff, gets around the edge, and he's inside the 30. Then it's Wall again trying to add to his yardage on the night. He gets stuffed, though, by Northern Guilford. Here we are on 4th down. Josh Fuller going to cap off the drive with a field goal. We're all tied up at 3. Later on, Grimsley with the ball again. This time, quarterback drops back, and he's picked off by Northern's Christian Herbin, who takes it down to the 43-yard line. This one's still not over. The last check, Grimsley was up 15-10.
Ragsdale opened against Southern Guilford tonight in Jamestown, and early on, talk about an incredible run. Ragsdale's Malachi Main is veering to the left side of the field. Doesn't really see much room, so he's going to weave it back across the middle to the right side, avoiding practically every single defender to the sidelines. And you guessed it, into the end zone for the 6-0 lead. But Manus, yeah, he wasn't done. Later, another rushing score, but a little less effort this time around for another 6 on the board to go up 13-0. And currently, the last score we had at halftime was 13-zip, Ragsdale on top. But a few teams didn't make it to the end zone as they hoped because a trio of high school football games have been postponed until Monday. Northwest Guilford at Smith and Wheatmore versus West Davidson will kick off Monday at 7 p.m., while Eastern Randolph and Southwestern Randolph will resume their game Monday night at 7:30 p.m.
All right, other scores from tonight's action. Dudley shuts out Carver 49-0. Page beats Davie County 20-14 in overtime. Then Mount Airy gets the 28-7 home victory over Star Mountain. High Point Central wins a close one, beating Parkland 22-21.
Eastern Alamance scores early and often, beating Graham 57-16 like we reported earlier in the show. And Atkins gets the big 35-6 win over Central Davidson. While West Oaks beats county rival South 35-14, and West Forsyth gets the big road win at Lake Norman 42-14.
All right, now for some flight here. Up next, our Friday Football Fever Week 1 Aviation Triad Flight of the Night. For this, we go to the Asheboro Blue Comets connection of Corey Durant and James Collins. Durant throws it up. Collins brings in 3 catches in the first quarter for our Aviation Triad Flight of the Night.
It's time for our Blue Cross Blue Shield, I should say, that's a tongue twister, of North Carolina Drive of the Week. This one goes to Roundman's Jaquan Snipes. It's just one simple play, 69 yards for the touchdown, and that is good enough for our Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina Drive of the Week.
All right, with week 1 of the 2017 high school football season in the record books, let's take a look at next week's big matchups. We've got 5 choices for our Wendy's Game of the Week, and you get to decide which one wins. Northern Guilford takes Lakes on Page. That'll be big. Starmount travels to East Surrey. Northwest Guilford hosts Western Guilford. Then Western Alamance heads to Burlington Williams, and Dudley meets up with Ragsdale. Head over to WFMYnews2.com right now to cast your vote.
Switching gears, it's time for a little more finesse. Let's take a quick look at today's action in the second round of the Wyndham Championship. On 18th, Davis Love III, the birdie putt. He gets it to drop while Henrik Stenson putting for par on the 9th hole. Pretty short putt there. He'll make that one drop. And Ryan Armour, he is going to be putting for a birdie. Actually, excuse me, that was Webb Simpson making the par on 18. And now Ryan Armour putting for the birdie on 9. And it looks good, but he just misses it to the right. He is also tied at the top at 13 under.
You got to be patient to where you can go flag hunting, but you still got to be aware that you can't be going through the greens. You got to stay below the holes. And for the most part, I was able to do that.
Given the weather forecast, the scores are going to be low again this weekend. So very happy through 2 days, but got a lot of work to do and got to keep making those birdies.
It's been good on the greens. I don't think I gained anything. I might even lost a hair on the greens today, but yesterday was excellent. And overall, like you said, one drop shot in 36 holes is always a good statement.
All right, and of course, you can catch the third and final rounds on WFMY News 2 this week. And all right, that does it for week 1 of Friday Football Fever. Thank you so much for joining us.
And if you missed any of tonight's action, we'll have your highlights and scores on our website at WFMYnews2.com.
All right, we'll see you next week for another edition of the Fever. Have a great night.